I actually haven't seen the light and dark cards for this. I just realized because I'm not used to only seeing 2 legends instead of 4 2 heroic 2 legends. But we got 1 cost materia, 2k forward. You can play 2 or more light characters onto the field. When materia enters the field, you may pay X. When you do so, search for 1 light forward of cost X and play it onto the field. When a light forward other than materia you control is put from the field into the break zone, draw 1 card. This effect will trigger only once per turn.
Okay, we might as well show the Spiritus as well, because they're basically in exactly the same vein.
Yes.
Instead, it's light versus dark. And the dark one is exile instead of draw a card. They're basically exactly the same card. They just do slightly different things on the death triggers. These cards are great.
Yeah. Like
These cards are absolutely amazing.
Like the backup version, the Chaos that let you pay X and get something from bin that's 5 cost or more. This is just an upgrade.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like Spiritus is probably the better of the two, just because like Spiritus
Dark is better.
pay 4, get Kadaj. Like,
yeah.
I beg to differ slightly.
I mean, there's also Materia, pay 3, get Lena. That's also pretty strong.
Or in party.deck, search out Materia, pay 2, get Onion Knight, party swinging again.
Yes, fair good.
Also, technically, there are 1 cost that when they die, draw you a card. So they're technically a neg one cost.
They don't. Materia doesn't trigger.
They don't trigger themselves.
Oh, it's
otherwise. Neither of them trigger off of themselves. Otherwise, that would just be filthy.
Yeah,
but
and there is
at
something.
The same time, these are just really good.
There is something I do have to bring up with these, though. You can't play them if you already can. They don't have that Cosmos Chaos buffer effect of you can play them even if you control that relevant thing. But that being said, it's still not as much of an issue.
Also, Sire, I know that the Refia backup is on color for Wolfaris, but you also want to play the Refia forward for Wolfaris because it helps Wolfaris more.
Yeah, it helps the walls go off a bit more.
Alright, but yeah, I really like these.
These 2 cards are brilliant, and like I feel like Materia is like we could argue all day which one was the better one. I feel like Materia is going to have that edge purely because it combos so well with party.deck, which we already know is extremely powerful and established. But on the other side of the coin, you can go you can go Spiritus, go find your Ned and play it.
Yeah, find the Ned, find the Kadaj, find the Camlanaut to go search. Like, they're both good. Like,
I
it's
read
just
them the same. They're just for different sides of the coin. They're the same but for different sides of the coin.
Materia has a home. Spiritus has far more explosive potential.
Yeah. Right, and we're getting into the hybrid cards.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah, but definitely. That's exactly how I feel. Going into the first hybrid card. 5 cost Fire Ice Lastwell. 8k forward. When Lastwell enters the field, your opponent discards 1 card from their hand. When a Fire or Ice forward you control's attack, choose 1 forward opponent controls, deal it 3k damage.
Oh, look how they massacred my boy. How dare you?
Actually, I feel like this is probably better right now at the very least. It's probably better than the other Lastwell. Here's my reasoning behind this. Yes, it's expensive. It doesn't do much. It just makes your opponent discard a card. But the thing is, it's a net 3 CP 8k that lets your locks trade with Neds.
To an extent. But with that being said, is Fire Ice going to be good?
We're still pondering that question yet, because Fire Ice didn't actually gain anything from the new set. As like a lot of people know, Fire Ice is my baby. Like, I'm always thinking about that deck and how we can improve it, adjust it, modify it, so on and so forth.
And I'm in sync.
I have considered
this. I come into it in and out of it.
I have considered this Lastwell. I'm sorry.
I'm with you on that. Squash Piece can say I do the same. I come in and out with Fire and Ice just to test it every once in a while.
Yeah.
Like, on another point as well, because this is 5-drop, you can get it out of your deck with Celteus.
It does
which is
help.
another pretty solid point. Like getting this and again making your opponent discard a card. Like you gain 2 forwards, your opponent discards a card, and now whenever your forwards swing, they deal 3k damage. Think about like that effect, that last effect with the fire ice forward. Think about how insanely powerful WoF was back in Opus 10 when Rain has that same effect.
Counterpoint being you could play Rain for gave you.
Yeah.
Yes, you could play Rain for free, so you gain that effect immediately. Yes.
Yeah.
But Rain
it's
is
like-
also a legend rarity card.
Also,
Yeah.
you're losing the other last well. That's the thing.
Honestly,
Other
I'm
last well's
fine
not
with
great
that.
anymore.
Huh?
That other last well is not good.
Yeah.
Really?
Like
I've still been playing it.
nah.
No,
Not
not in modern day Icefire, purely because I'm gonna ping something to dull and freeze it. Cool. Ping my BFA. Ping
Yeah.
my Ned.
Yeah, the problem is everything loves being targeted,
Yeah.
which, is kind of also a bit of a problem with this card because the
I was
effect's
gonna
not
say
mandatory.
yeah.
Oh, and here's another one. Yeah, you've got as well. Ping my Behemoth Kaiser.
Yeah, ping my Behemoth K.
Yeah, but that also
Which, if you
applies to
ping
this
them-
card as well.
Yeah, if you ping Behemoth K with this, it's like
The only
Like
thing
you
I can
lose in this case, you lose the last well.
Yeah.
the only thing I can see where this could work is if you start doing ice fire partying.
Yeah.
Which you're fine to
Like-
do. Like you don't mind
Yeah.
partying with Icefire.
Oh, I'm not saying that
whatever.
is a bad
Like,
thing. I'm saying
you didn't-
that's the deck I would put this in. Fire ice partying.
you didn't mind. You didn't really mind partying with WoF either, like just to get the 8k. I think the difference between 3 and 4 is pretty high. I really want to be proven wrong on this card. Like I really do, but at the moment I just don't know.
I've got to play with the ideas and everything, but I do feel like this does have the home in Icefire, and I feel like people are sleeping on it a bit too much.
Yeah.
It's going to
I
get
mean,
people.
As I say, I'd love to be proven wrong, and
Yeah, I would love. I just would love ice fire. Like any love for ice fire, I would love. It's just I don't know. It feels a little bit weird. Maybe ice fire samurais just to clean up kills. You still rather just play samurai mono, because you do this but cheaper.
also
No,
relevant
I can
card.
see the point behind that because you go like Cyan swing, like the Samurai swings does the AOE.
You
You kill
think-
you kill like a bunch of the smaller things, but you don't get rid of that one big thing. That 3k ping can get rid of that one big thing.
And I think
That's
the big
true.
thing about Fire Ice Samurais is that gives you Gastalian Empire search for science.
Yes.
Actually, yeah, valid. Nope, I apologize, Kenna.
Yeah, again, I'd love to be proven wrong on it, just don't know yet.
Yeah, like it would be fun to experiment with Fire Ice Samurais.
The card reads so well, I just feel like one thing is missing. But I
Yeah,
digress.
either 4K or maybe a 4 cost would have made me just one.
If it was a 4 cost, it'd be broken.
Yeah,
That discarded 4 cost is like legendary. It's so good.
Yeah, no.
yeah, definitely. That's kind of what I wanted, though. 4 cost Onion Knight, Wind Fire. When Onion Knight is put from field into the break zone, you may play 1 card named Onion Knight from your hand onto the field. Pay a fire and a wind, remove 3 cards named Onion Knight in the break zone from the game, choose up to 3 forwards, deal them 9k damage.
Onion Knight FFT is not Onion Knight, now that we've got that out of the way.
Yep, we said that already.
Huh.
I'm disappointed and sad. Still, I like
Yeah.
this card. I want to experiment with Onion Knights now again.
Onion Knights could be cool.
The thing is, here's the thing that I've got with this card though, right? Why fire?
Yeah, like, why not Lightning?
Yes. Counterpoint, can Fire, Lightning, Wind work as a synergistic Onion Knight deck now? With all the support in multicolor backups and searches.
The answer is a resounding, I'm not sure.
Yep, and that's what I want to test.
Potentially.
But yeah, if this was Wind Lightning, yes, it would be perfect slotted in the right colors.
Being fair, Wind Lightning does give you an option to access any element CP. So, and we'll get to talking about that in a second. But
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's Exactly. That's why I'm thinking this might be feasible.
But you're still going wind. You're absolutely still going wind lightning dominant. And the next question is, how many Onion Knights are you running? Which Onion Knights are you running? And
how many can be
like,
next to each other simultaneously? That's the big key. How many
Yeah.
of the ones you're running can be out next to each other? Because if you overload on ones that can't, then you're in danger.
I feel like you're
the
at
thing
least
is, none of the Onion Knights can be out beside each other because they're all Onion Knight.
unless it's a category or title, but like,
Yeah.
But no, like you can. I guess you're running like the Legend Ninja one. You run Sage because you need the Sage for the Ninja one. Probably run this guy. Run like one of the light ones. I'm not.
Yeah, but then in that case, sorry, then I'm changing what my statement is because I forgot they're all legendary. The statement is, what do you run next to it to fill in the gaps? Because you can't just play a one-forward game.
Yeah, which is a bit of an issue.
So yeah, what will you have to put?
I mean, you just run
hard to figure out.
Yeah,
Huh?
you've just run good fire, wind, and light.
Yeah, but that's where it'll be. That's where it'll be the key, because you could either go the fire wind. See, you could even go the fire wind side with Marsh Ritz potentially.
Probably not.
Nah, it's not
If
worth
you're
it.
lightning fire, you can do some trick with the haste stuff and put more of the lightning value cards.
Probably where this Onion Knight is going to see the best amount of play is with the 2-drop Opus 1 Onion Knight, because then you can just play that Onion Knight, tap the one, bring that one back, play this one, and you don't have any problems. And then, like, you may not even need to activate that auto or that action ability. Like, if you do, hilarious, but you just go, I'm going to turn my 2-drop 5k into a 9k.
Yeah.
And then if that one dies, I could just play the 2-drop again and beat people's faces in.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I think that's how you'd probably see that Onion Knight scene play.
No,
And,
that's definitely where I'm going for. So I want to see, I wanted to experiment with it at some point after I'm done with engineers.
Yeah.
But I really like this one.
Kind of thankful that Onion Knight 3 and they are, so...
Yeah. Alright, next card. I actually really love this card. 2 cost, 6k forward, Carter, Fire Wind. When Carter enters the field, select one of the 2 following options. Choose up to 3 backups, activate them, or choose one forward, deal it 1k damage for each backup you control. I love everything about this.
See, here's the fun part about this card, right? This card is a very good Class 0 cadet that shouldn't be a Class 0 cadet.
Yep, if this was anything other than Class 0 cadet, I would...
Here's the reasoning why. Because specifically it's Cater, and Cater is one of the backup cadets.
Yeah.
And it's the only fire backup the cadets have.
Yeah.
That isn't named Ace.
Yeah, that's not Ace. Because, like, all your other aces are...
Yeah, I would not play this in Cadet Zeros. I would just play this in Value Firewind.
More or less, yeah, because it's a -1 cost thing.
Or you just use it to ping something off to finish it off.
Yeah, just deal 5k to something.
Yeah, 1 to 5k potentially.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've
not much else needs to be said about that.
Yeah, I've completely ignored the Cadet Zero class Cadet Zero on this thing.
Yeah, just ignore the job tag. It's everything.
Also, Golbez searchable?
Yeah, but like...
You wouldn't run it this... Like, if you're thinking about Magic School Bus Golbez, you're absolutely not running this card.
No, not Magic School Bus, but...
This denies you both Luso and... I don't think it's worth it.
Or in the case of Magic School Bus, it denies you 7 and Sync.
That too.
Yeah, fair enough. Next one, Ledna, 8k 3 cost, wind fire as well. When Ledna enters the field due to your cast, place 1 fortune counter on Ledna. If a fortune counter is placed on Ledna, Ledna cannot be blocked. Discard 2 cards, remove all fortune counters from Ledna. Each player can use this ability.
Okay,
Sorry, cannot be broken, not
this
cannot block.
so this card actually has a very interesting interaction with Opus 2 Emperor, which says nobody can activate special or action abilities.
Action
Yep.
abilities of your opponent. So if you
So-
play this, your opponent's got an Emperor, they can't discard 2 to remove his counter.
Yep.
That's correct. In saying that as well, they had to have worded it this way purely because it's a 3-cost FFTA character for Marsh.
Yep.
Yeah. But
I also like the fact that it costs your opponent 4 additional CP to get rid of this thing.
yeah.
This
Yeah.
card is going to be a pain in the neck to deal with, and
Yeah.
if with the amount of FFTA support that's came through over the past few sets, this FFTA Firewind is going to be a deck. We're going to have to watch out for this, and we better have all the answers in the world. Otherwise, we will just be frustratedly beating ourselves against a brick wall named Ledner.
As you guys said, this screams, play FFTA properly now, please. Here,
Yep, this is Square Enix's
indestructible
other
8K.
Yep. Like this.
Yes.
This is your cleaner.
Yeah.
It's your hammer, it's your anvil, it's your everything until your opponent pays that 4 extra CP.
Yep. Gotta pay the troll toll.
On top of whatever they got to kill it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so their removal spell, if it breaks, now costs an extra 4.
Yeah.
This card always you can cancel your opponent discarding to it.
How do you
Yep.
Oh! I know
this
exactly
card.
what he's doing. He's running. He's thinking about the Opus 5 Horror, which cancels action abilities.
Oh, okay.
Or Green Mage. Don't forget Green Mage.
Yeah.
Does the same thing. Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yep, just Param Lednar. Come at me, bro.
Yeah. I'll cancel your attempt to discard 2 cards to remove all my fortune counters.
Hold on. I'm
Yeah.
going back for a second. Discard 2 cards as a cost. Excellent.
Yep.
Excellent. I wanted to double check that. It's before the double dots.
Yep, discard 2 cards, colon.
Yeah. Nah, perfect. Good
Right.
one, RV. All right. I don't know how do we move on from that? Maybe with some hope. Hope. 8k3 cost. Wind Ice. When an active character opponent controls becomes dull due to your summoner abilities, freeze it. When a dull character you control becomes active due to your summoner abilities, choose up to 2 characters you control, activate them. This effect will trigger only once per turn. I like what it says, I just don't know how I would use it.
I mean, I
So
kind of
this
want
card
to.
actually makes Opus 3 Shiva bonkers.
Yeah.
Backup Snow, that's
also
where I
Shiva-
went. I went to the 4-cost backup Snow. Swing, dull, and freeze. Swing, dull, and freeze. Swing, dull, and freeze.
Oh, no. I've got a better one for you. You have this hope in play, and you play Eduardo. Don't freeze your opponent's entire field.
Actually, here's the
Yeah,
question.
that's I kind of want to.
This effect will trigger only once per turn. Does that work for both of them, or just the bottom one?
Just the bottom
Just
one.
the bottom one.
Yep, cool. That's how I... Yep.
Yeah, and like, as we're saying with Eduardo, I kind of wanted to just derp around with this and play it with the new Renoa. And just go, cool, bop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Over hilarity.
Yeah, and the second ability worded very specific interactions with a banned card.
Yeah. No, I like everything it says. I just don't know where I would start to build an Icewind deck, but that's more my imagination issue than actually the card. But I like this card.
Card is good.
Yeah, card's super good. It's also 3-cost 8k. That's really good value.
Yeah, like I was just like, okay,
That's
Snow
it.
is now dull and freeze.
Snow Dull Freeze, Eduardo Dull Freeze and top.
Snow Monk! Holy crap, Snow Monk with Snow is dull and freeze 2 things?
Yep.
And the other thing I really like about this is any effect that has the separate block for dull and freeze where you can dull one thing, freeze another, or something. You can now split that to dull, freeze one thing, and then freeze a tapped thing. So you're able to split your ability with that.
Hi, Glass Yellow Bolas. How you doing?
Yeah, man.
Exactly. You know, the most played
Okay.
ice card.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just wouldn't know where I would start to build the deck, but I think this can go somewhere very well, very easily, and do a lot of damage. Hope, the actual cause of Guido's banning.
Yeah, the actual. Yeah. Because despite the way it's been worded, you can just, okay, bounce it back, play it again, just get the effect again.
Yeah, I mean, not entirely the actual cause, but it's probably up there.
It's a contributing factor.
Yes, it is.
Une.
Anyway.
When 8k 5 cost Earth Ice. When Une enters the field, choose 2 summons, each with a different cost in your break zone. Your opponent selects one among them. You may cast the other summon without paying its cost. If you cast it, remove it from summon from the game after use instead of putting it into the break zone. It has a special, Ice Earth. Choose one dull forward, deal it 2... Wait, is that 20,000?
20,000.
Yes, that is
20k
20,000
damage. Search for one summon and add it to your hand. Okay, what are they preparing for with that number, and why am I scared?
2 cost Opus 6 Dragoon.
Yeah. So this Une actually seems like a really nice card to slot into like the Rydia summoner deck, because you play all of these high cost, high power summons. Why not recur them
Yeah.
for free?
Yeah. It's like, cool, I picked Bahamut and Phoenix. How do you want your forwards to...
Yeah,
How do you want this to go down? Or even better, Bahamut and Bahamut Zero.
Yep.
Cyanide, I can stab you in the ear with this pencil. What do you prefer?
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, this was a
Hey,
fun
thank you,
one.
Mr. One Stick.
Whack
Yeah.
kneecap or stub toe?
Yeah. Yeah, I really
Neither
like
of
this
those
one.
things are good.
Yeah.
Like, this card is solid. Like,
Yeah.
as I said, it sounds like it's got a great home in the like Earth-based Rydia giant summons deck.
And the fact that the
Yeah.
other Une is no longer relevant, it's no longer name clashing, which is really good.
Yeah.
To an extent, there are some decks that want to run that other Une, especially those that run lightning, like the lightning that we were just talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's hilarious.
This is the greatest interaction ever.
Yeah, but that's a good thing. When a card isn't clashing with its own name, I think that's just really good.
Oh, it's good to have.
Yeah. But yeah, this is very interesting. That number confused the hell out of me.
Yep, just 20k for no reason.
For 2 mana, technically, in the 1 discard.
Yep.
Is that by
Oh,
far
and you
like...
search for a summon.
And
Yeah,
you
you
search
search
for...
for a summon.
It's a 0
This
cost.
is what happens to our girl Opus 4 Terra,
Yes.
who's only given 6k and
Yeah.
had to dull for her effect.
And she was a light forward, so you couldn't even have like Citra and stuff there. Like
Yeah.
Oh god, this is... Yeah, it got worse.
the times
It got
they are
worse.
changing.
Alright, our next card.
It's
2
6k
cost...
to 20k.
Yeah. 2 cost 5k Delina. Earth Ice. When Delina enters the field, choose one of the 2 following actions. Select one character you control, break it. Golbez! Sorry. Choose one character of 2 cost to list in your break zone, add it to your hand.
This
No.
card,
I'd like
It's hybrid.
in Golbez.
That's the
I'd still
problem.
run the
you run the 3 cost.
in
Yeah.
I'd still run the 3 cost Delita in Golbez, and this card is a 0 cost. Like it's not even guaranteed to be a 0 cost forward.
Yeah. Also, the hybrid makes it
Right.
very awkward.
Oh yeah.
Because you may literally have
I
to
can-
discard. You may literally have to discard an ice card and an earth card to get this effectively with Golbez, and then you've lost your value.
Yeah. But that being said, this card is the actual nuts in exactly the Regis Renoa loop.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now you have another cheap way to break a Renoa.
Yes. Yeah, that's actually true.
That's,
Hey, GRC,
Yeah,
welcome.
that's literally the only card. That's literally the only thing that it's good for.
Although that being said, I did build the multicolor good stuff deck with Lyd and Nicole. I think I go into Ice Earth for this just to be able to get back Nicole. It's also FFT, so if I want to run Agrius Nova, that. But also the next card. The next card.
The card people are draft taking because they don't want to see it on anyone else's hands. 3
Yeah, no.
cost, 9k, White Tiger LC Nimbus, forward, Earth Ice. You can only pay with CP produced by backups to cast White Tiger LC Nimbus. Brave. When White Tiger LC Nimbus enters the field or attacks, choose one character opponent controls, dull it, and freeze it.
I am so thankful for that first line of text.
Yep.
Yeah, remind me why this card is good again.
I don't know. Just big fat thing that just can hit backups, you know?
Also, Ice Earth tends to play backups a lot more than any other deck, so you're probably likely to get this pretty well. You just can't get it on curve on turn 2 or 3, which the other 9Ks do have the advantage over it. But Brave, Attack, Dull, and Freeze to lose a turn to play it might actually be worth. It comes down to your gameplay. It comes down to your strategy completely.
I'll be honest. I'll be completely honest with you guys here. Consider what we got in the last set in the 3.9k multi-element slot. I am not just less than impressed. I am disappointed.
Like, yeah, this is no Y'shtola. It 100% isn't a Y'shtola, all because if that wasn't there, I'm pretty sure we'd all be singing a different tune.
RB's also saying you can cheat it into play.
Yeah, you can Phoenix it back. Is the thing.
You can Phoenix it. Yeah, you can Phoenix it back, sure, but you can also Phoenix back Y'shtola.
Yeah.
Like I'll be honest. I still prefer to have Y'shtola because Brave is a very good keyword in this context because it says, "Oh, I'm gonna dull freeze something every turn, and I'm also a 9k blocker." That's fine. The only difference between this card and the Opus 3 one is that line about dulling and freezing and the 1k extra power. I'm not impressed.
And the fact that it's an Earth card. Earth is
That
somewhat
makes it.
relevant.
That kind of makes it even worse, to be honest.
I actually like it because of the Earth. I like because of the Earth because of the hybrid cards, so it's actually easier to back up play it. With that first line of text, I feel it needed to be Earth, or else it was just going to be worse than what it is now.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Nimbus is locked. Opus 3 Nimbus to ice backups.
Yeah. So Opus 3 Nimbus is locked to ice backups. So, but at the same time, like being locked to backups on like this sort of effect, I would prefer to have it like the thing is, dulling and freezing your character on ETB and attack, phenomenal effect. I can agree with that, and everybody else can. By the time you're playing this card, it is too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
it is too late to
that
be locking stuff down like that.
Yeah, this is a broken card that has one line of text that makes it fair, and that just isn't good enough in this meta.
Like, I'll be completely honest. I would prefer to have the Laguna we were talking about earlier over this, purely because Laguna doesn't have that restriction, but exactly the same line of text.
Yep.
I'll be saying
an even better line of text, actually, because Dull Freeze is 2.
Was? I don't get the context of that.
Yeah.
You guys get it?
I mean, it is what it is.
All right. And speaking of sort of semi-better value 9Ks, 4-cost Gudon, Wind Earth, 9k forward, Brave, Gudon cannot become dull by your opponent's summons or abilities. Gudon can attack twice in the same turn.
The most contentious card in the set.
I hated this so much versing it. This was pain for me. This was agony for me.
Opus 1 guy called, he wants his actual everything back.
Yeah, pretty much.
Also, Bunavelza called, he wants his damage 3 gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like this like Gudon is exactly what Bunavelsa should have been. Like this card is really really good.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't reap like much because it's just like it's a 4-drop 9k vanilla, but it doesn't really play like a 4-drop 9k vanilla.
It's
Like
just
the fact it can beat twice
And block.
and block, and it's in the same element combination as Iris, which is a 0-drop 8k.
Yeah.
It's in the same element combination as Ishtola, which is an aggressive 9k.
yeah. It's
But
Earth Wind really wanted their own arcane.
Yeah.
Earthwind
No.
got their own. Do you know what's even better about this? It's FFBE, so you can search for it in Wind.
Yeah, you
It's
search for it in
on-
Wind. You get
It's an
benefits off of it
on-element
with
computer.
yeah, you get benefits off of it with the water buffer in case you're playing coal. You dig for it with lid, and
No, this-
searchable by Morgan. Yeah,
This card is just silly.
Yeah, this card goes everywhere, and I love it.
yeah, but it is one of the more contentious cards. Like half the player base is like, "Oh my god, this is insane." The other half's like, "Okay, but why though?"
Like it doesn't do anything on attack. It doesn't do anything on entry. It is by every definition a vanilla card.
Yeah,
It does nothing. But the thing is, it does that nothing so well that it does something.
yeah.
It does. It
This,
does
I-
nothing, and it does nothing until it does something.
Yeah. And I feel like this will be similar to Y'shtola, the gatekeeper card, this set.
Yeah,
But yeah, like this would be one of the police cards.
in a rare
100%.
slot.
Yep, in the rare slot because they totally needed it. Anyway,
Okay, this one, which is I've actually been interested to muck around with, Kunchira, 2 cost 9k forward, lightning wind, haste. If you control 4 or more backups, Kunchira loses 3k power. It has a special. Lightning Wind, activate Kunchira until end of turn. All forwards opponent controls lose 4k power, and Kunchira gets first strike and can attack more than once. Can attack once more this turn. Blah. I like this, but I don't know. It makes me bite my nails, even though I love this.
oh, this
Okay.
card's so good.
So this,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
this card
so
is
it is
actually
feasible.
fantastic. So it's on elements with the card that goes to find it. It's
Yeah,
on elements with another card that goes to find it.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
the right cost for a card that goes to find it.
and
So
it can be
it's very
rezzed
likely
by
to
another card.
That yeah, like this card is
Yeah,
the text box on this card is actually phenomenal, and that special ability, that's almost Illua levels of power.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
just
The reason
like-
why I bite my nails with this is there's only ever been one lightning card I've played and no wind cards that I haven't played that I've tried to get to 5 backups. So I've never played the wind lightning aggro shell before, so I just don't know if 3 backups is a good point to stop.
Well,
mean-
here's the thing.
You're
It
untapping
kind of
backups.
is because here's the thing, right? What's like what we've been discussing about Wind Lightning? Oh, it's the Bart's Party deck. This is a 2-drop that slots right into that deck. It doesn't have to party. If you need to play a 4th backup, it can party with either of your 2 elements and still be powerful.
yeah. And even its flaw of, oh no, it's a 2 cost 6k haste.
Here's the question
Right,
I've
that's-
also been
that's the-
wondering.
Worst possible problem.
Yeah,
with
he's
the
like
card.
Here's the question I've been asking. Golbez decks tend to play low amount of backups.
Yeah.
This might be a good Golbez search. Especially 9k haste with all the other value you can get.
Well, here's the
Edge.
problem with that though. You end up having wind and lightning getting cut off, so you lose out on Lucer.
Yeah, you lose
you
those
lose on
slots again. That's
Lucio.
the same problem we had last time. With
But
what's it
that being
called?
said, this doesn't go in Golbez, I don't think.
Yeah,
No,
I don't
it
know. I think
doesn't.
this just goes into aggro lightning wind.
Yeah, the Lightning
And-
Wind aggro shell is where
And
this thing
especially with the
thrives.
wind side where you're untapping backups, you might not lose the value by having low backups.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like
that's
you
where.
use things like no to just activate all your backups.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you guys agree with that because I was really worried. I'm like, am I just being an idiot here? Going, I want to play low backups, wind, lightning, but I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
sure
no,
it can
it's-
work.
Yeah, I've thrown together like the Wind Lightning aggro shell with Behemoth K, Mid and Sid because Sid Polendine is a card for some reason.
I
Yeah,
was also
and I think
thinking-
it's gonna work.
I also was thinking a lot of the wind lightning cards have a lot of break good stuff as well.
Yeah.
So you can play a lot of those
Yeah, they do.
break to do stuff and sort of ambush your opponent, especially stuff like the exile card, the white mage or the archer.
Yeah, and you also get access to your Stolen and Seganashi for protection.
Yeah. I also was really wanting to next level this by playing this with the Lulu that breaks a backup to do damage.
Hmm.
But that I know that one was me going one step too far down the rabbit hole. But okay, yeah, because
It's,
I really
it's
love this
also-
card.
It's also running Hero Lulu, which is
Yeah.
just not a good card.
No
Yeah.
more, unfortunately.
But okay, cool. So this is feasible. Okay, I'm really glad because yeah, I was sitting there going, I think I can use this, but I just wasn't confident in it.
And again, Job Warrior for some reason.
Yeah. I think that might be just the FFBE thing.
Yeah, just random warriors throughout this set.
Speaking of our boy, 5
Hmm.
cost, EX Burst, 9k forward, Lightning Wind, Golbez, EX Burst. When Golbez enters the field, you may search for one card of cost 2 and add it to your hand. Damage 6. When Golbez enters the field, you may search for up to 3 cards of cost 2 and add them to your hand. Then you may play any number of Job Archfiends from your hand onto the field.
So
Why do you
this
have to
fine.
Why do you have
Yeah,
to make
this
me pick a
fine-
favorite child? Why game?
Well, I mean, this finds Cosmos.
Yeah.
Like- Everybody was trying to explain to me, like I had a few people try to explain to me how is this card good, and I'm just saying it is good in every single sense of the word.
Yeah,
Like it searches Cosmos, it searches Kunshira for specials, it searches Unsaganashi to protect your field, it searches Kusif to get stuff back.
it searches Chocobo to recycle.
It searches so much stuff.
Hmm.
And,
Like,
and it's another
yeah,
one
searches.
that you could just
Yeah.
like it's another one of those cards like Gabranth where there is no ceiling to this card.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just go on FF Decks right now, just type in cost 2 and see what you find.
Yep.
And Golbez gets it.
Yeah, its biggest weakness is Golbez, and which is my favorite child. But
Well,
But I
feel like even then-
like this Golbez doesn't go in like Opus 1 Golbez decks. This Golbez
No.
actually goes in the Lightning Wind decks and the Party Aggro decks.
yeah.
Because you just find whatever you need. Because this can search party decks if you order. It searches Andoria.
And the second Archfiend Golbez goes into a more non-2-cost Archfiend deck where you're trying to use the other ones, not just the ones from this set. So it's not like any of them are clashing in terms of deck, but it still just comes down to which of these 3 children do you love? Which deck do you want to play? But they all have their good aspects and fun, and I actually really like this one.
Yeah.
This
it's
is a powerful one. Like this is a very powerful Golbez.
Also-
And
And the art. The
Yeah,
art,
for
man.
some reason, it's also an EX burst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you hit it on your sixth damage,
Well, it's only the first bit, but still, like, oh, I checked this in damage. I now go get the 2 cost I need to be able to come back.
yeah.
it's hilarious.
God,
It's absolutely hilarious.
and the
Yeah,
best part is, you get 1 for free when you buy a box.
Yeah.
Yep. With the
So-
pretty full art.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really good.
So
So yeah, I was really happy with this, but I still think I want to muck around with the set 1 Golbez more than this one right now.
Yeah.
Speaking of good 2 costs that I like having fun with, 2
Oh,
cost
no.
5k lightning, wind lightning. Oh my god, I hate this so much. When lightning enters the field, select one of the 2 following actions. Search for one card named Odin and add it to your hand, or lightning gets haste until end of turn. 2 cost 2 to Odin seems kind of good to me.
Oh.
Like, it's the first time that the poster child of a set has been at the common slot, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, but it's lightning and, Square Enix shrugs.
Yeah, that's also fair. Like, as far as this card goes for playability, okay.
Yeah. Like,
I wouldn't run it over any of the other lightning.
yeah, no, especially not the other
no.
one in this set, which I am
you gotta treat it as a
convinced
2
they
cost
put
2 to
the
Odin
art
and
in
a
the wrong
potential
order
body
for.
on the field. And yeah, this one's.
Yeah.
I don't know. I liked it just because I don't know. I feel search card Odin might become something eventually. Yeah. I'm ignoring the lightning side.
You've got the 6 cost lightning, which does the same thing, but it gets you 2 Odin instead and comes with rules stapled onto it. And
it's true actually, and it's monocolor as well.
Yeah. And also, another thing is, a lot of people are probably wondering, why is this card wind? Like, the only reason I can think of is, okay, we're going to print an Angel of Valhalla in, like, sets going forward, which are, this is always treated as, card name Odin.
Oh, okay, yeah.
In wind?
Yeah.
Because it's also a chicken.
Yeah, like Chocobo, Odin, that would be the only reason I can think of that this is wind. But
so
yeah,
this is an investment card.
You're a common, you're not even a full art. Your other better monocolor version is a full art.
And you're a lightning.
Next.
I proved to someone that Square Enix is forcing people to love FF13 by telling them when we had the store game day playmat stuff, and I messaged him going, why do you only make playmats that are Opus FF13 art? Because all of them except the first one was 13. His answer to me was, Square Enix won't send me any other art. And I'm like, alright, yeah, that kind of explains a lot. Because I just had to ask him, like, why do you only do FF13 art? He's like, we have to get commissioned art from Square Enix and whatever they send us, and they're only sending us FF13 artwork.
Yeah. Oh, I digress. Next card.
2 cost 7k forward wall, lightning earth. Category Mobius forwards other than wall you control get plus 2k. When wall deals damage, your opponent chooses one category Mobius character in your break zone, add it to your hand. If Mobius becomes a thing, I like this.
You run this as a one-of in the Sophie decks, I think.
If you can fit it. But
you probably
can. This card is actually really, really powerful. Like, 2-drop 7k is already above curve. So I don't know, to be honest, I don't even know what the hell the curve is anymore. We've got 2-drop 9ks at no downside.
Well, here's the thing. If you have 3 of these in-game, they're 0 costs because you infinitely loop them. You play one, it dies. You play another one, it dies, grabbing the other one, playing it.
Which is true, assuming, like
it has to deal damage, but...
Yeah, it has to deal damage. But the thing is, like, this card is just really, really good. Like, it pumps things that have no rights being pumped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we established the Earth one that draws you a card with the special for the Mobius is also fairly decent. So putting these next to each other with a sort of good Mobius shell around them might actually be pretty cool.
Also, very important to note, the job here is Warrior, not Warrior of Light.
Which is super unfortunate.
But, yeah.
Mm.
So I really like this, and I think this might do well. And like I said, even if you're just running 3 of them, looping one back every time you deal damage and then dies playing it again or something, or even just discarding it for more resource to get it back the next turn after you do damage is kind of funny. And speaking of more Mobius, we got 2-cost 5k forward Sarah Mobius. Water Earth. When Sarah Mobius enters the field, select one of the two following actions. Choose one forward you control and one forward your opponent controls. Each forward deals damage equal to its power to the other. Hey Rob, Earth card, withdraw a card.
It's also
Okay,
in
this
water,
one-
so it's possible.
Yes, that one's fine because it's a water card as well.
It
This
feels like
card-
you're stretching there, Rob.
No, I'm not stretching anything. This,
No,
like, in this
I
particular
100%
case.
agree.
I
the
agree, I
water
just like
side
messing with
player
you.
card, it's okay. As far as this card goes, this card is the actual nuts.
Yeah.
It has the right element combination. It has the right job.
Yep,
It has the
princess
right
searchable.
abilities. I can say nothing bad about this card. It is really, really good. The only reason why this isn't the Earthwater Legend is because the card that actually is the Earthwater Legend is just filthy.
Yeah, this thing.
Yeah, this card's
thing-
great.
I read this thing. I had to reread it like 6 times when I saw common in the slot. When I opened this thing,
Yep.
and like, wait, what?
Yeah, how is Sarah not a hero?
Because the thing that confused me, that made me skip, is choose one forward you control, not choose it to fight something else. And I'm like, wait, hold on a moment. That's a big difference. That
Yep.
actually is
big deal.
relevant. So like, okay, huh. So yeah, I really love this card. Again, more Mobius love, which is kind of good. And we're here. We're at the top of the mountain for now. 2-cost 4k forward Sophie. For each Earth forward other than Sophie you control, Sophie gets +2 power. For each water forward other than Sophie you control, Sophie gains +2 power. At the end of each of her turns, if Sophie has 10k power or more, draw one card and Sophie deals your opponent 1 point of damage. Wait, is water the color that lets you spam a lot of cheap stuff? I can't remember. Someone remind me. Oh, so does Earth, right?
Okay. So let's open up a bit of a discussion about this card. I actually need to get going really shortly, so I'll close the discussion about talking about this card. This card is the actual nuts. It is the chase legend of the set. It is ridiculously powerful. It's water that you can get back with Lena. It's a monk you can get back with Ursula. You can you can play it for free thanks to Young. It's
What
a
doesn't
two-drop,
she
so
do?
you can Phoenix it back.
It's Mobius, so you can dig it back with Wall if you need to.
It's and it is so easy to get this thing to 10k power because Sarah contributes to both sides.
Yep.
Sarah enters the field and doubles this card's power.
Just
What
by
in the
existing.
ever-loving hell were Hobby Japan thinking, printing both of these two cards together and making them as bonkers as they are? It actually boggles the mind how ridiculous this thing is.
Boggles
how
and
ridiculous everything
perplexes.
is. Forget about Neo X Def now. This card is the filth.
Why
Yeah.
pay 6 for a
The
Neo X Def when you can pay
actual-
2?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Basically, Opus 11 came out and BFA says, I'm the biggest filth in the game. And then Opus 12 comes out and Neo X Def says, no, I'm the biggest filth in the game. Now Opus 13 comes along and this little 2-drop, it's a 2-drop, says, no, I'm the biggest filth in the game. Because I don't even need to hit you to kill you.
Yep.
And I am 0 cost. I am a 0 cost, no, not even 0 cost.
Sophie's
Negative
not a common because
CP.
it's busted. Everything we're saying is
Sophie's
why
not a
it needed to be a legend. It's a legend.
Negative CP
Yeah.
to hit your opponent in the face.
In 2 colors that get direct damage.
You don't
It's
attack
direct
with it.
damage. I
It doesn't
don't
need to
attack.
It doesn't even. Yeah, it doesn't. It just sits there.
Yeah, it's like we were singing the praises of Behemoth K not too long ago, and this thing's like, I do that without even moving.
You don't even need.
The Healing is an amazing card. Don't get us wrong. This card basically says all I need to do to play the game is establish a board. It is so easy to do that in the combination of Earth and Water that it is disgusting. It's a 2-drop Water card, comes back with Blenner. It is a 2-drop Monk, comes back with Ursula. It just, it's so damn stupid. And the worst part about that whole thing is, the absolute worst part is, if you try and Shantoto this field, Ursula just says, I'm going to put these into the break zone instead of removing them. I will just repeat the process again and again and again. Vikings. We were just talking about Vikings. Vikings can just go as wide as they want. And Sophie just says, I'm going to reward you for going wide by punching your opponent in the face and doing what I want to do, which is drawing more cards.
Yep.
How is this card printed?
In short, expect a lot of Opus 9
Yeah.
Expect a lot of just...
expect a lot of 2-drop removal going forward. Expect a lot of
stupidity. You need answers to 2-drops from this point onwards. If you have no way to deal with a 2-drop forward, you're losing the game.
I kind of like, just because of how powerful this card is, that it can die to chain killing. I'm glad about that, because this would have been stupid otherwise.
Okay, there is one card that I'm actively, in Earth Water decks, that I'm actively playing as a mirror breaker for this card, and it is Ash. Because I can switch off your abilities, you are now just a blank 4K slate. Now I can play my own Sarah Mobius and Hecaton that.
Yep.
This
is going to be...
The card boggles the mind about how powerful this thing is. I'm going to finish my time here at that, but there is no reason why this card is so powerful. As I said, Neo X-Death was a bonkers card, and is still a bonkers card, but this card laughs in Neo X-Death's face.
The advantage for Neo X-Death is any deck can play it, where this one needs to be in 2 specific colors, and that's why I think they felt comfortable going overboard.
Yeah, but those 2 specific colors are kind of busted.
Yeah, it's the 2 specific spam
colors. Those 2 specific colors together are the go wide colors.
Yeah.
You're basically rewarding a deck that wants to go wide anyway by going wide.
Yeah.
There is no reason for this card. Other than that, I'm going to sign off.
Anyway, thanks for coming and joining us. If you want to do one last farewell and plug anything you want to plug to our lovely chat.
Just have fun, enjoy the set, take it easy, everyone. If you get Sophies, I am looking for them.
I think everyone's looking for them now. I think you went 5 minutes.
I just need one. Yeah, I just need one more.
Oh, you bastard.
Yeah, I unfortunately need 2, but yeah, I can't not understate how ridiculously filthy this card is anymore.
Yeah. Card's ridiculous, my god.
What doesn't she do?
Take it easy, chat. Take it easy, guys.
Thanks for coming.
Chat another time.
Oh, 2 foils in pre-rel. Show off there, Kana.
Yeah.
Bastard.
Alright. And then there were 2.
Yeah. We had to up the quality somehow.
Yeah, I know, right?
Anyway. Next one up is 6 cost 7k forward Doga. Water Earth. For every 3 summons in your break zone, Doga gets +1 power. When Doga enters the field, draw 1 card for each summon you've discarded to cast Doga. When Doga attacks, if you have 9 or more summons in your break zone, and you may cast 1 summon from your hand without paying the cost. I was not really impressed with this personally.
I reckon it's a bit like Une. Goes in that, Rydia Unalesca Summoners deck, where you just... you'll probably have 3 summons in your hand, one of which is Earth and one of which is Water. So you can just play this, draw back the 3. It can be, fairly big. I don't know how consistent the 9 or more summons to cast a free one is going to be, But if you can get it off,
But even then, if you don't have a summon in hand,
yeah, it's a bit awkward.
yeah,
But that being said, you're using this as a deep draw value engine, I think.
yeah, or just a potentially just 2-cost 7k, I guess. But with the last 2-cost water,
Yeah, the last 2 cost per order of good stuff.
Dogen
it's
can step aside,
lacking.
and he's going to accept that.
Yeah, but I reckon this guy could see play in that summoner's deck.
Yeah. So next one is a 7-cost 9k forward Ramza. So before I saw Sarah, I actually really liked this card. I still kind of do, even though I know it's not the most efficient value. But it's a FFTT or DFFFFTT. FFT, blah. If you control 5 or more category FFT characters, the cost required to cast Ramza is reduced by 3. When Ramza enters the field, choose 2 forwards opponent controls. Your opponent puts one of them into the break zone and returns the other to the hand. So 4-cost 9k bounce removal.
I think the biggest problem with this card is that it's card name. Because I can think of at least 3 other Ramses that are
better,
slightly more, that are slightly more playable than this guy. Like, reads really well, but yeah, you want the Opus 10 one to be able to recur your FFT cards if you're playing FFT. You want the backup to be able to dig for cards. You want the Opus 5 one if you're going wide.
The haste one that potentially can be cheaper and bigger and outright removes.
Yeah, the Opus 5 one
with haste
ordered for go wide.
Yeah. So I liked how this read, but yeah, it was just Ramza felt awkward and I wasn't sure.
So that being said, FFT backups, you've got Simon, Ovelli, Duke Goltana, Rafa. Just have another forward out, and being a 4K is not that hard for him.
Yeah. So, I don't know, this potentially feels like a one-of in Water Lightning that does run FFT as a play it to open the field and swing in for lethal after doing a bunch of other work.
Maybe.
And that's it. That's what it does.
Yeah, and but the unfortunate thing is, if your opponent has 1 forward, you just point blank don't get any value.
Yeah. But at that point, you've won. So, okay,
yeah, at that point,
I saw this one on Saturday, but I don't think I read it fully. 5-cost 9k forward, Aldor Emperor, Fire Lightning. Oh, that's right. No, I did read this. I like this because I like the feed for Fire Lightning. When Aldor enters the field, select one of the 3 following actions. If you've received 5 points of damage or more, select up to 2 of the 3 following actions. First one is 1 forward is dealt 7k. Second one is a forward of 3 costs or less, break it. Third one is 1 active forward, deal it 8k damage. I really like this one for Fire Lightning.
I like it too. Again, but we have to see where that Fire Lightning deck goes from here. But this is your cleaner. It just comes down and potentially kills something. If you're a damage 5, you're getting a million bits of value off of it. But then what?
Yeah, it's also just a 5-cost. That also hurts with so many 2-cost 9ks, 3-cost 8ks.
Yeah, a 5-cost 9k that maybe kills something. There are plenty of 5-cost 9k maybe kill something on their hand to play. This has the upside of being FFBE at least.
The benefit for this, why I rate it so high, is the choose 1 forward of cost 3 or less, break it. We want anti-2 drops at this point. This kills Sarah.
Yeah. It kills Sophie.
Sorry, Sophie.
Kills Archfiends, kills all that stuff. And the fact that it's a lightning card with a cost 3 or less break that isn't restricted to active forms is a huge deal.
Yeah, so that's why I rate that second ability. So it's weak because of the curve, but it's also the card that techs against that curve.
Yeah, it's got potential.
Yeah. So I like this one. I'm definitely keeping an eye on it. I'm definitely might run it for tech, seeing what happens, especially if we just see a bunch of the Sophie deck.
Yeah.
We've got our next cadet, class 0 cadet. 6 cost 9k forward 9. You can dull one active fire job class 0 cadet forward and one active lightning job cadet forward instead of paying the CP cost to cast 9. When 9 enters the field or attacks, choose one forward opponent controls. Until end of turn, it loses 2k power for each job class 0 cadet you control.
You know, good cadet support, sure. My question is, where's the rest of it?
Yeah.
Like, Sync is incredible. Kader might as well not be a class cadet. This thing reads super well, especially with the high roll turn 1 of Ace, dig for the top for however many cadets you can, and then play Sice, play 9 off of those.
Also, the fact that it's one dull 1, not tap 1, means you can do 2 forwards you just played.
Yes, which is the biggest part about this.
Yes.
And yeah, like, I do feel good about this if Cadets takes off, but that means Cadets has to take off with essentially 4, like, they're behind 4 sets already as it is.
Essentially, we've got a new 9 for that slot. Cadets
yeah,
now
like,
has a new
it's
9.
not name clashing because the other 9 is...
Yeah. So I like this, but yeah, as you said, it's a type 0 deck, so it has to come down to the Cadet 0 deck working. But yeah, I still just love the fact that you can go sort of cheat into Cadet Zeros if they're Lightning and Fire tap them to play this dude and go, alright.
Yeah, could theoretically do it in Magic School Bus. Just go, oh cool, Golbez died, I get my Sice and my Sync. Now I have a 9.
Oh my god.
And I killed a guy.
Yeah, so this one has a lot of interesting, fun stuff to do.
Yeah, I reckon this guy has potential.
Yeah. Next one, 2 cost Noel 5k forward. Fire Lightning. When Noel enters the field, select one of the 2 following actions. Choose one forward other than Noel you control. Until end of turn, it gets plus 2k power and haste. Choose up to 2 forwards, deal them 2k damage and dull them.
Yeah.
It's got the aggro power, but 2 cost 5k versus all the 2 cost 9ks.
This here is why I don't rate Clavat as high as Rob did, because you have this card which does the same thing, but it's a 2 cost, and you know, it's a Shiva for Fire. Like, if the hyper aggressive deck has a Shiva, it's going to abuse it. Yeah. And in a pinch, just being able to go, cool, play a thing, it's got haste, get some. Yeah. Or even just play, tap 2 big things. I've put you to 5 damage with aggro, you've stabilized with 2 big dudes, drop this, tap them. Drop this, dull them both, swing the game. Yeah. It's how you win games in Limited with Fire Lightning, and it's you can construct. Yeah, so this is definitely big support for the big sort of aggro Fire Lightning decks that just need that one extra thing when the opponent is about to stabilize. Yeah. But yeah, I love this when I saw it, and yeah. Oh, here's the big discussion one. The card that's going to decide everything. 3 cost, 7k forward, Yuzuki. Fire Water. If a fire forward you control is dealt damage by your opponent's abilities, the damage is 0 instead. If water forwards you control are dealt damage, reduce that damage by 2k instead. So, all these little ping stuff we've seen for the last 2 or 3 sets, you play this and it lives, you do nothing. And that the fact that it itself is a fire forward means it takes 0 damage from those abilities as well. Yep, takes 0 damage from abilities and also takes 2k flat because it's also water. Yeah. So if you're playing Fire Water and you're playing Magisa, you play this card. Yep. Because you have to have ways. To be honest, if you're playing Fire Water, you just put this card in. It's anti against a lot of the meta. Yeah, like it really screws up Samurai. Hurts a lot against Dragoons. It's just like a lot of the meta just can't deal with this card. Yeah, like making water forwards have slightly fatter butts and making fire forwards outright immune to ability damage. I hope you're packing summons. Yeah. So this is going to force a lot of decks to start moving from the ability damage to outright summon removal and damage. Yeah. Because it is surprisingly hard to beat through sometimes. Yeah. Well, like you said, it's technically a 9k butt. Yeah, it's a 9k ass. Like, it just does a lot. And again,
So, yeah,
fire searchable by Magissa. And again,
So, yeah,
fire searchable by Magissa.
yep. It's really good. It's a good protection for the two colors, and worst case scenario, even if you're monocolor, you might be able to cheat it in somehow.
Yeah, I mean,
This
you have Phoenix and stuff.
and the fact that Warrior of Light is main fire water means that slots into there perfectly. I don't know if it'll make the deck go past Dragoons and Samurais, but it's going to do a lot of work to balance that out.
Yeah, this is another one of those sort of policing cards that you have.
Yeah. Like you said before, if this game allowed sideboards, this would be a sideboard card.
Oh yeah, you run 3 of this in every sideboard.
Yeah. Next up, 2-cost 5k Ultimecia, Ice Water. When Ultimecia enters the field, select one of the two following actions. Your opponent discards one card from hand, choose one character you control, return it to its owner's hand. I don't know, I wasn't really impressed with this, but it doesn't do anything that I personally enjoy.
With that being said, I think this is what we were alluding to Ice Water for create, because this is a fair decent payoff. Like, comes in, makes your opponent discard one. You can also bounce characters to get more value. Bounce a keys to replay it if you need to at damage 5, and
That's actually true.
reduces cost of Renoa, and can also be brought back with Renoa.
Oh, it does reduce the cost of Renoa. Ooh.
Yes,
okay.
it's category 8.
Yeah. It's category 8. Yep.
Yeah, this could be what pushes that over the edge. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm glad this is a multicolor card, because 2 costs that say your discards 1 always scare me.
Yeah, that's... I think, yeah, the 2 color makes a big difference for that. And we've got to our Queen card. 4-cost AK forward Chime. When Chime enters the field, choose 2 forwards opponent controls. Return the first forward to its owner's hand. Dull and freeze the other. More work for Fire Ice to potentially have ways to go through.
Genesis called. He's suing for copyright.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this. Like, I had discussions about this. Like, oh, cool. It's like Genesis. You can Dull Freeze one thing, bounce another, and get some more tempo. But losing the discard on attack is a bit of an issue. And it's also FFCC in precisely the wrong elements for FFCC.
Same problem we've been seeing for all of them except the King one, was it? That was really good. Oh, Leo, yeah. And that's because Leo was in the right colors.
I mean, Pavlov's in the right colors, but it's also just a case of it's a vanilla. Chime is just... I want Chime to be good, but I don't know yet.
This felt like a limited card to me when I play it in draft, and that's...
it's a draft. This is a draft bomb. This is just so much tempo for really good on-curve body.
But yeah, once we stopped playing, I just put it in the pile with the other, like, in order in the folder, and I'm like probably never going to look at it again unless something really brings its attention up again.
Yeah. One to keep in mind.
Yeah. We should be nearing the end, I think, actually. Next one, 4-cost 9k forward Celestia. Water Ice again. The water characters you control cannot be broken by opponents' summons or abilities that don't deal damage. When an ice character you control is chosen by your opponent's summons or abilities, choose up to 1 character, dull and freeze it. This one I like.
Yeah, I like how it reads.
Yeah.
Because, again, like, this is something that I've been mentioning a lot, but, this and Yuzuki makes for pretty tough to deal with board, especially with stuff like Minwood.
Yeah. So you
just to be able to go... Yeah, like, sort of water, ice, fire, sort of... I am really hard to kill. Like, my forwards are incredibly sticky, and then just sort of beat through with your good value forwards.
Which I like. I like that they're turning ice to a bit more of the... It's no longer paralyzing your hand, it's sort of a general paralyzing of effects.
Yeah. Like, you're making things much harder to deal with.
Yeah. So I actually really like this card. The big thing for me is if there was a way to either... Like, Type 0 was really awkward. Warrior, I'm not sure if that, but if there was a way to either get an extra value off playing it instead of just 4 onto the field, it would have been really cool. But, yeah,
like a couple of...
Go on.
A couple of just really good field effects stapled on. Is
Yeah.
that enough?
Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah. I'd like it to be, though.
No, I really like it. And hey, I was right. That was the last card.
Yes, because the starter cards have been out for long enough that we can discuss them.
Yeah, I didn't bother putting the starter cards in for this.
Yeah. I mean, if you want the cliff notes, Filia and Ranjit are good. Emmett Selk, why can't I pay less than 4? Tani is a good Phoenix target. Crystal Exarch is meh. Y'shtola, Urianja, Thancred are good, and Scions. Innocence should have been a water card, but Kageyama said no. And Oracle of Light is surprisingly good.